These are now a month old and have already assumed the disc-like shape of their parents. They're becoming independent, but they've strayed past the lair of an electric eel. The eel has very poor eyesight, but it detects the presence of objects around it with short electric discharges, a kind of radar. It rises for a gulp of air. This time the young discus seemed to have escaped detection. But the eel can also produce a major electric shock which stuns its prey. Astonishingly, it releases its capture. Perhaps so small a fish is not worth eating, and the young discus, apart from the marks of the eel's jaws on its flanks, seems no worse off. One Amazonian fish puts its eggs beyond the reach of any water-living predator, on leaves overhanging a river. A pair of splashing tetras are courting. They curve their bodies and for an instant leap clear of the water. Sometimes a third fish joins in. The bigger of the two is the male. For a moment the pair hang on the leaf, supported by the suction of the male's floppy fins. Again and again they jump. In this one moment the female lays her eggs and drops off, and the male fertilizes them and follows her. Each time they leave behind a dozen or so eggs. A few infertile eggs drop off the leaf, but they're not wasted. Eventually, as many as 200 eggs are safely placed out of harm's way, and the river can be an exceedingly dangerous place. Piranha, the most savage of all the Amazon's fish. A swimming capybara suddenly realizes their presence and tries to retreat, but it's too late. The splashing, the taste of blood spreading rapidly through the water attracts more and more of the shoal until there are hundreds of the fish, all possessed by a frenzy for flesh. None are much more than a foot long, but their teeth are sharp enough to cut clean through bone. Within minutes, there's little left. As the river gets older, it slows down. A minor obstacle in its path is now enough to deflect it. The water flowing round the outside of a bend has to travel farther and speeds up and cuts away at the bank. On the inside of the bend, where the current is slow, the water can no longer support its load of sediment and drops it to form a shoal. So the bend becomes more and more exaggerated as the elderly river swings from side to side in a series of loops and meanders. In places, one bend may approach another until the neck of land between the two is so narrow it collapses. Then the river takes the shorter course and the meander is left isolated as a curving lake. There the water at last is still. Plants no longer have to fight against the current, and the lakes become clogged with vegetation.